Hi, I'm Duggan Cooley, CEO of the Pinellas Community Foundation. Welcome to Inspiring Philanthropy. Pinellas Community Foundation has been committed to improving the quality of life of all residents in Pinellas County for more than 50 years. Growth and progress are only sustainable when the rights and needs of all community members are being addressed. Thanks to the generosity of donors, PCF provides grant funding to a variety of nonprofit organizations in our community that enhance the well-being of all residents. When you donate to PCF, you support multiple charities throughout Pinellas County. Today we're joined by Anthony Verdeja, Executive Director of the Family Center on Deafness, which empowers deaf and hard of hearing residents by enhancing communication, education, and independence. Welcome, Anthony.
Hello, thank you so much for this opportunity. I appreciate it.
So I have a few questions for you today. I appreciate you being here. Can you start off by telling us a little bit about how the deaf and hard of hearing community, telling us about the deaf and hard of hearing community in Pinellas County?
Sure. So one of the things that has been very apparent in the last few years as we've gone through this global pandemic is the challenges that so many of the individuals in our deaf and hard of hearing community encounter on a daily basis. So one of the things that we're trying to do here at Family Center on Deafness is figure out how we can work with the community to acknowledge, recognize, and then address those various challenges. So here in Pinellas County, we have a very actively engaged and involved deaf and hard of hearing community. Unfortunately, we haven't had a lot of current collection of data or resources to give us some more specific numbers. The last statistics that we've been able to glean were from prior to 2000. So a project that we are currently working on with some other organizations is to develop a survey that will go out hopefully in this next couple months to help us get more accurate data about how many individuals are truly in our community of Pinellas who are deaf and hard of hearing. And that can encapsulate everything from someone with a mild hearing loss to those who are born into families who have generational deafness that has been passed through from generation to generation.
Thank you for updating data. 22 years is a long time to pass, and our community has changed tremendously.
Yes.
So I think that kind of work is very important and will help us better understand our deaf and hard of hearing community. And so your work to do that is much appreciated. So what are some of the successes and challenges of our deaf and hard of hearing community, and are they unique to Pinellas County?
That's a great question. It's so interesting that for the most part, we often view the deaf community as a more of a nationwide experience. And because we haven't had as much collection of data, because we haven't dove enough into our local specifics, which is what we're hoping to do soon, we actually have to only use that general lens, if you will, about the community. Some of the great successes that we've seen in just the last couple of months, of course, is things like the movie Coda coming to the forefront, and all of the awards and recognition of individuals who are deaf and hard of hearing finally being recognized for all of the amazing talent and skill sets they have. And what's been really neat about that is that it's bringing more attention to us as Family Center on Deafness. I have a lot of friends and colleagues who really aren't actively engaged with the deaf and hard of hearing community, but over the last couple weeks when these award ceremonies are taking place, they're reaching out to us. They're saying, oh my goodness, this is so great. I'm getting to see more deaf community. I'm getting to see more sign language recognized on a national level. And so that's one of the great successes we have. Here throughout our community, because we are Florida, and we are so fortunate to have a lot of the deaf community from around the country come to and retire here, we actually have a lot of experience within our deaf community of former presidents of the National Association of the Deaf. We have a lot of professionals who have built businesses and ran them successfully who've now retired here. So one of our goals here at Family Center on Deafness is to start reaching out to those individuals to help support the younger generation coming up so that they too can have that same amount of success.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about the history behind the Family Center on Deafness and its programs here in Pinellas County.
Sure. There was a time in Pinellas County when we had deaf service centers, and those deaf service centers were really established and focused on dealing with deaf adults, providing those services and trainings and education. And it was then realized that the future of our community was going to be the children. And so there was a shift where we then began to look at who's serving the deaf and hard of hearing children. And in collaboration with Pinellas County Schools and eventually with the Juvenile Welfare Board, we were able to get programs up and running, which then led itself to becoming what is known today as the Family Center on Deafness. And so we are here looking to provide support, programs, services, education to any family in Pinellas County that has an adult in the home or a child in the home who might be deaf or hard of hearing. And as long as they have one individual who's deaf or hard of hearing and one individual who's a child in the home, we're able to then work with that family and provide services.
Thank you. I want to thank Anthony and the entire staff at the Family Center on Deafness for all the work that they do to elevate and advocate for the needs of our deaf and hard of hearing community. Truly inspiring.